Wake up, turn off the alarm, get up, shower, make coffee, get dressed, get to the car, drive to work, find a parking spot, get to the office, sit down, and your vision is blurry. Feel pressure on your left arm, you start sweating, fall to the floor, collapse, heartbeat, heartbeat, heartbeat. If you are between 20 and 35 years old, you're 20% more likely to suffer a heart attack on a Monday than during the rest of the week. This study was conducted by a group of Swedish researchers after analyzing the data in hospitals and seeing a disproportionate number of patients being checked into hospitals on Mondays between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. The reason, they argue, was unsurprisingly stress. In an article about heart attacks, the author indicates, the times when heart attacks were higher coincide with perceived high and low levels of stress, say for instance returning to work on a Monday morning. And it's possible that stress can trigger changes in your biological system that can leave you vulnerable to a heart attack. Further research of longitudinal heart attack data showed that December was the worst month for heart attack incidences, while July was the safest. The reason, they argue, is the lessening impact that summer vacation has in reducing aggregate levels of stress among the population. The researchers go on to argue that a more relaxed work environment or a transitory day between weekend and the week would be beneficial, as one of their proposed ways in which this could be implemented was to work from home. Then, why in all hell does your manager want you back in the office? You suspect that it has something to do with his or her insecurities or wanting to feel superior, but the funny thing is that you might actually be right. Welcome to Rebel Economics, where we talk about everything from business and management to economics. If you enjoy our content, please consider dropping a like at the end of the video, or maybe even subscribing. We're a small channel, and every one of you is a massive help, so thank you. Today we will be looking at working from home, the dream of office workers around the world and the nightmare of managers. Why does this difference in opinions exist? Is there something more to it than insecurities on one side and comfort on the other? After the crappy 2020 and 2021 that we had, one definitely positive thing is that we have largely left behind the need to go to the office. Pre-2020, the idea of generalized work from home or home office was considered a dream. The gatekeepers of the office would keep pulling workers into the expensive glass buildings in the center of the city forever, it would seem. But nowadays, at least in certain industries, the possibility of working from home is very much a reality. Studies about competitiveness to gain and retain talent keep revealing that most office workers assume, no longer desire, but assume, that possibility of working from home to a certain degree. And so long as they are in a financial position to choose, they would not work for companies that force them into the sardine box we call cubicles. Employee churn rate, a measure of the number of employees that leave a company and after how long they depart, has been directly correlated with the number of days workers are expected at the office. Talent and headhunting agencies keep warning companies. The modern worker's mentality has changed. Work is work, independently from where it is performed. FlexJobs, an online job ad database, publishes a broad survey of the job market in the US every year. In 2021's version of the survey, the responses of a large majority of workers showed astounding support for remote work. Specifically, 58% of respondents to the survey indicated that they wanted a job position that offered absolute remote working conditions, while a further 39% desired some measure of hybrid work, whereby some days would be in the office and some they could stay at home. Now that is a total of 97% of surveyed workers that want at least a modicum of remote work. 97%. I'm afraid that that is as good as it gets in statistics. 97% of US citizens agreeing on anything is unheard of. I don't even agree with myself 97% of the time. This figure seems to be a clear declaration of intentions and desires. The tragedy of the past 3 years has changed us as a collective. It has proven to managers and other office-defending pundits that the office is a relic of the past, like punching cards for tracking hours or your company buying you a watch after you retire. The report outlines other results that should send a chill down the spine of managers seeking to tie workers to a desk. 44% of respondents indicate that they know someone who either has or is planning to give their company their week's notice due to their lack of remote work policies. How much do workers really love remote jobs? Well, quite a lot it would seem, since 24% of respondents of the survey answered that they would take a 10 to 20% cut on their salary to go fully remote, with an additional 21% being willing to sacrifice some vacation time. For full disclosure, even if I'm trying to show both sides of the argument, you might have noticed that I'm a firm defender of remote work. For the past 3 years, I have been an exclusive remote working consultant, and I would hardly say that my productivity has declined. Do I still get distracted? Sure, but I would probably in the office as well. I believe that generalized work from home is a blessing that was granted to us by the necessity of the previous 2 years. And I also believe that it is up to us to stand up for the benefit, otherwise it might get taken away and written off as a product of the last crazy 2 years. The benefits seem to be manifold, and while the data on productivity is a bit messy, the impact on workers' lives is undeniable. I don't have children, but I can only imagine parents being able to spend more time with them as they get up and have breakfast together. Additionally, simply removing the commute to work already frees up so much time. Workers are regaining time that they lose, product of the centralization of their economic activity in the center of a city that is not being paid by their employers. Commuting costs time, gas, and money, essentially being a tax on workers for working. And now, that tax has disappeared. Germany, as well as many other countries, has even modified its tax code to allow some write-offs to workers who use a room as their work-from-home office. Employees can therefore write off expenses associated with that, like desks, Wi-Fi, or headphones. It truly is a fantastic silver lining, and it feels like a deserved reward after the past 2 years. But let's try to empathize with the managers and try to soberly consider their perspective. Some of the reasons to hate work from home might be valid, while others might not, but it is important to establish a dialogue and see where they're coming from. Firstly, for the longest time, high-profile companies like Fortune 500 entities in the US would be afraid of even testing work-from-home measures due to some early adopters of the work methodology for whom it had not worked out so well. Most famously, Yahoo's experiment on working from home led to their executives to notice a relevant decline in employee engagement and productivity. This very advertised failure terrified managers and executives, who spent the next decade building a culture of anti-work-from-homeness that necessitated the Black Swan event of the imposed lockdowns of 2020 to be fully demolished. It is, however, worth noting that Yahoo has once again allowed work from home for its employees after tweaking its initial implementation of the policy to better adapt some corporate desires, and the results seem to be quite positive. Additionally, there are the existing concerns about cybersecurity that managers keep propping up as an often forgotten cost of working from home. Social Hire, a media agency, puts forward a compelling analysis of this issue. Employers may have concerns about cybersecurity when it comes to remote working. If you consider an employee taking a work laptop home and connecting to the office server via secure connection with all the latest patches installed, it seems low risk, but there are other factors to consider. If a worker uses their own equipment, it may not be as well secured and could introduce malware or a virus to the network. Besides cybersecurity, there is the issue of team building. Some research by consulting companies and talent agencies have come up with the compelling evidence of workers being onboarded to a new company online, feeling alone and forgotten by their coworkers. This is believed to have a direct impact on teamwork and performance. Additionally, they argue it is also correlated with a higher churn rate, as the new employees feel less at home and less comfortable with their colleagues. Finally, one of the common misconceptions that managers seem to have about offering work from home is that it is an all-or-nothing binary decision. This, of course, does not have to be the way. As I mentioned before, FlexJobs uncovered 39% of interviewed workers who were in favor of a middle point between fully remote and fully office-based labor. In a softer version of remote working, like the aforementioned hybrid work, would allow the most reticent companies to ease their way into a new managerial style While bringing some of the benefits of remote work to their employees, this intermediate solution seems to be a good idea worth trying out. In conclusion, the impact of the previous years has been undeniable on workers' lives. One product of such change is remote work, a benefit I believe we should not lose. The advantages brought to workers are plentiful, and so is its impact on well-being and in reducing churn rate. But some of the corporate concerns about it are valid. The issue of cybersecurity is a complex one, but not entirely unmitigatable with good IT training and responsible data management by workers. All in all, I'm happier to be an employee now than I was then. I had to go to the office every day, sacrificing 40 minutes on the train each way. Now, my mornings are more relaxed. I get to enjoy some quality time with my partner, go for a walk in the neighborhood when I want to, and not have to dress up too much. I believe this might be one of the greatest modern advantages in the life of workers. And maybe, just maybe, widespread adoption of remote work will make Mondays less deadly. Thank you for watching Rebel Economics. If you enjoyed the video, we would appreciate it if you would leave a like and subscribe. If you want some more content about career and the impact of corporate decisions on your working experience, you could check out our video on why the corporate culture may be a trap. And for something completely different, why not learn about why Google is getting into the health sector? Thank you so much for your support, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day, and see you guys next time.